cabbage patch ass the fuck away from me right now, boy. Nigga, I'm not afraid of that costume and your little weak ass training. Woo! That's how you run it on them, boy. That's how you run it on them. I'm just throwing it out there. See if we can shock the crowd. See if we can shock the crowd. Let's see what is this? You ain't getting nothing else till later this evening, bro. Your ass this. I'm making you a snack 'em ups, man. We can't do that, bro. Oh shit, I threw it away. What am I retarded ass? Damn. No, I threw it away. Okay. Time for a little charcoal. I don't feel like taking a pill that I made because I'm not trusting that. They say it's plant-based. I'm looking at it. I put it under my little thing to look at it, and it doesn't look like plants. It looks like cellulose, like something made from pork. Not that it's a problem with me, but it looks like it's made from pork. I want plant-based cap, and they're kind of white. They're not clear. So without checking, under my little, see how the lines are in the capsules that I bought a bag of? Only like $1.79. I started filling, I got like 4 of them filled. I was like, wait a minute. Let me check this out. Now the package says, I didn't get it from Sprouts, I got it from a different place. So I'm gonna take it back next weekend and, you know, be like, I don't like going to Flagstaff just to be driving, wasting gas at this ridiculous price for these fat ass fake politicians. Because gas should be no more than about 75 cents. And that's the truth. They got everybody believing in the crap they do. That's like right now, they think that out of all the fresh water, only 20% goes to the people. But they say there's 8 billion. Yet in the Navy, our water comes from the sea, from the salt water. Good water, mind you. So what's the problem here? And then you got a brother that made these machines that can pull water out of the air. The Jews always been doing it, but that's ancient technology. But nobody wants to acknowledge that. So we keep listening to these fake ass politicians. I haven't had a cop, a dumb pecker went over here who I don't know. I think the motherfucker agent. Look, and I just wave. You know what I'm saying? Because I wish you would, motherfucker. Anyway, he looks over and he decides to come like he's gonna come behind me, bitch. Nigga, I'll just pull the fuck over, park my shit and get out and hope a nigga would. Boy, listen, I ain't with all this shit. Look at this. Right in Jacksonville, Florida, you had these 2 shootings. This one motherfucker, you know, he's in behind the thing shooting at the convenience store. And the other one, he's out there, there's a parade going on. His name is Muhammad Barak. Why is it that when you go to pull these pictures up, these are the most AI-generated damn pictures in the world? Why were the 2 shootings of the so-called he, she's, him, shims, whatever? It's the same nigga that shot both of them in totally different locations wearing the uniform. The young motherfucker looked like a Marine consort of a sadistic narrative they paint a picture with to be a fall guy if something was to go south. Huh? But these monkeys don't know who they're fucking with. Now, history-wise, when you wake up, you will deal with all of them differently. Doesn't matter what the media paints. People are getting to the point where they don't give a fuck what the media say. That's to their own dilemma. That's the intrepidation. Why they want to bring in some punk ass forces? Because see, a lot of y'all don't have guns. They made sure a lot of niggas can't get guns. And then the fact that if you serve your time, you can go back and be Second Amendment Constitution, all that. Because we have perversions called magistrates that you think are judges sitting in them theaters, them active theaters under this fake guise called Athena. But you don't want to know that. Oh no, it's got to be at some goddamn fake ass Moorish temple, some bullshit. It'd have been a great thing if they were going around the schools and not wearing them big goofy hats talking about, hey, look, lodge this. Shut the fuck up. That's a short time of existence for all you dumb motherfucking murderers. You don't even have a fucking clue to what y'all talking about. Anyway, other than the dribulations of what you've been led to. Other than that, going to schools and just teaching everybody the goddamn law, the families and everything. Without pushing fucking Islam, because y'all are stupid. Most so-called Murs weren't even fucking religious or Islamic. Stupid motherfuckers. That's new age generational shit. That's why I can't listen to none of you monkeys. I know you come over here watching. I'm so done with you monkeys. I'm grateful for the ones that pull away. Some have a hard time because, you know, I'm going over to Africa to meet my bloodline and blah, blah, blah. But then they start speaking the truth when something stings them. I'm so done. You Moors are the last motherfuckers to be able to hold a diatribe with. I would hate that if they're going to pull up all the niggas claiming Moors and this, that, and the other and show how many of their asses got locked the fuck up and shit ain't get dropped. Play that game if you want. Stupid I don't play. I don't have one bone or narrative in me that has a feeling or anything to the consort of the fuckery and foolishness because of stupid motherfuckers on my ancestral soil. All of it, actually. But yeah, none. It ain't my problem that you were misled and misguided that you don't want to live no more. Fuck out of here. Oh, I'm for all the good and righteous people. I'm not for the stupid, dumb motherfuckers. And they all watching. I just watched this sister helping her husband out on their property. And these goofy ass, they look like Elmer Fudd police officers, had the nerve to retaliate. And who was the fake ass judge to sign the warrant to go in there? Well, I've done my research and come to find out they some of the most corrupt, dumbest motherfuckers. And it seems like they're making sure they hire the dumbest motherfuckers and they arm the most vile people. So know that if a motherfucker come up with some goofy ass 10-star badge talking about and you ain't done a goddamn thing wrong, you better know how you're supposed to respond. You better hope that you're not a fucking loan. And you better make sure it's fuck the quaintness and the pleasantries. I'm not saying that out of emotions and feelings. It's actually a fucking truth. Why is it that people have a hard time accepting the reality that they're terrorists running around in costumes? Why is it that the biggest court told you that the motherfuckers don't have, the real judges, supposedly, all right, Supreme Court said they don't have to serve and protect. Well, then what the fuck? I told you that you go and get hired, then you realize, oh, we're going to make our revenue. And they go to the brokers, motherfuckers. Well, that's based on design because they're not too fucking bright. So when you hire the dumbest motherfuckers, and I hate to say that about the special force guys that get in there, they find a place where they can actually perform, you know, small towns and places where, you know what I mean? And the ones in the big cities, some of them just want to be in the fucking fight and they become more ignorant instead of purportedly smart and intelligent. Maybe someone wanted to be grafted into the other shit because they got to see something. They're like, I want to be part of that. Too stupid to know fucking better. But my people, fuck the fact that you have a decision because you'll never make it. I want to go ahead and get into this reading. We're going to read The Gods of Eden, William Bramley, Reptilians and the History of Humankind by the Anunnaki by Henry Kane, excuse me, and The Wars of the Anunnaki, Nuclear Self-Destruction in Ancient Sumer, and DNA of the Gods, the Anunnaki creation of Eve, and the alien battle for humanity. We're going to start off with that one first and then go into the second one. We're going to start from the beginning because I want to graft you in so that way we're starting anew and all these books. Now these books, we're already in the beginning. All right? So these fit perfect. I had to do a little reading again, regardless of how much I've read, just to ascertain, because now you'll be able to sit there and say, okay, everybody's written something a little different. Now you need to take the most important parts and bring them over to something that might make sense, because we always want to believe in these demons and jinn and all this other stuff. When jinn is from the word zinni, or jinnah, which is darkness. That's all it is. Black. However, it doesn't matter how many times it's been spread around and be made to believe something else. And other than cultures and language of a one world society, it probably alluded to the same thing. Now, as far as Hawa, light, we say Hawa, all these different things. All right, there's about several different ways that it's said. It's Hawa. It's not a fucking word. It's a sound, an under-tongue sound from here and here in the diaphragm. It means something as far as warning. It's like if you ever look at a meerkat, there's a sound they make. Yeah. I figured people would have figured that out by now. I know there's people going, man, that ain't no word. We know people in certain places probably going, wait, what's that? Some things were hidden, even from these monkeys. So the thing, parasites. The thing is, what? To illuminate. All right? The light. You are the light bearer. Wouldn't they have you thinking the light bearer is wicked and evil? But then they want to say the guiding light, Christ factor based on bullshit. Not saying that the individual in another consortium didn't exist. I already broke that down. Y'all didn't want to accept that. You don't want to research, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo, South America, I believe around Peru, the old man with a cane, black as midnight, with a nappy weird hair looking like Afro Samurai. The little poster you see that I'm about to put on the wall, right? In the frame. Walking with bells and things. Doing miraculous things. The last remnant of existence wasn't allowed to go to sleep. Had the face only a mother could love, for she birthed it into this world. When everybody else saw him, he was ugly. Instead of some fake ass Christopher Reeves motherfucker, fucked up by what you call it, laying up in front of the sun bullshit. Excuse my language. I'm only sharing this because it needs to be shared. I know people are gonna come and go, whatever, you know. They're gonna get a little something and run to their mammy and their pappy. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into reading. And let's go ahead and you know me, I like my background music. Okay? And you know, it's funny, these motherfuckers keep going copyright on their fucking music in their fucking studios. These little goombas are fucking goofy. I love it. No, I love it. Here, there's a system of individuals that know to leave me the fuck alone, but you also have a small little system that think they can fuck with me. And they're stupid. They are the ones that are nothing but test babies. You know, those test dummies. You know, go cars back in the 80s and 90s when the Volvo, and they crashed the motherfucker, and they got the big ass radiation, supposedly hazard sign, that all it means is danger, right? With the yellow. What the fuck is wrong with these goofies? Anywho, yes, I work in magic. Real fucking magic. I hate that word, but that's not what it's called. Real shit. I really do. And y'all say the shadows. It's no more than being able to see things that most people can't and be able to communicate. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So we're in the Brotherhood of the Snake, and it's a good thing we're there in chapter 5. I'm going to say less because, you know, some of y'all get conflicted and confused and be like, we don't need no more of those dummies rearing their heads. One thing to ask a question, another one to ask a question thinking you know what the fucking answer is. That's a waste of time. Only time I ask a question is when I don't fucking know. Stupid people. I made it pretty charcoaly. I got the parsley and cilantro. I just don't feel like putting it in there. It takes overnight before I can strain it. That's really charcoal. Oh, God. Okay, that's enough. All right, so anyway, The Gods of Eden by William Bramley. The Brotherhood of the Snake. Of all the animals revered in ancient human societies, none were as prominent or as important as the snake. Now, the snake was the logo of a group which had become very influential in early human societies of both hemispheres. That group was a disciplined brotherhood dedicated to the dissemination of spiritual knowledge and the attainment of spiritual freedom. Well, we know it's not the people we're seeing right now. And when some might say it's the what you call a society. Dude is goofy. It's raining. And that was just stupid. Anyway, I've already spoken on society. A few people have done videos on it. And you should know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not going to get into it. I'm like, see, when mentioning names actually gives stuff a little strength. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's been around doing the devious things and it belongs to these individuals who created a religion now. And I'm not going to say that name religion, you know, walking around looking like Hellbop and all that with the new World Health Organization and all that. Now they don't even want you to talk about that on here. If you're a doctor and somebody knows it's going to benefit and help somebody, they'll sit there and censor your stuff because if it ain't what the World Health Organization is saying, it's no good. See, this is what they're doing. They're attempting to control the narrative, knowing exactly what we stand by here on this soil. That's why I'm saying either you're going to stand by this or realize this is a government platform, and regardless of the fiat and all, because we know it's worthless, and we need to put the worth back in it. The society here and the people here, instead of playing their games. So anyway. Theosophical society, because I know some of you are just beating your heads up, all right? It's theosophical, all right? So look it up. I told y'all to research it, all right? Okay. Oh, yeah, this is gut punching. This is gut checking, y'all. This is all it's going to be. Reading and gut checking. It's important. God damn. I'm not here to tease y'all and make you feel good about we Indian and keep pushing that. It's like, wake up. You're more than everything everybody's talking about. I've been saying this for the longest time, and either you're going to realize that some people are saying that's not baby steps. It is baby steps. The baby steps is how you need to enlighten yourself. The hard truth and the gut punch is you're more than all the narratives that are floating around. That's confliction. That's confusion, and they love that. The enemy. You dig what I'm saying? No matter how individuals good, well, something put together, gimmick, this, that, another, whatever, what they're saying, it doesn't matter. You're more than that. And I'm the only motherfucker saying it. Has it even made it? I've been saying this for a long time, and people used to be like, that nigga crazy. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this brotherhood of the snake, in parentheses, also known as the brotherhood of the serpent, but which I will often refer to as simply the brotherhood, opposed the enslavement of spiritual beings, and according to Egyptian writings, it sought to liberate the human race from custodial bondage. That's in this fucking book. I don't have to go to this book over here. So, hold on, let me show you, monkey boys. Let me show my beautiful goddamn people. I don't have to go to here for custodials. Okay? But the mentioning of custodians in here, it's not like these motherfuckers read all the books that I'm reading. I can guarantee you they didn't. Even once mentioned by this cat. Okay? Talking about Tartary. Okay? All right? Even old Will Cooper talked about custodians of some form or sort. Okay? And then a book on the custodians alone. All right? Now, you ain't got to believe damn thing. You can hold on to whatever it is you found out in your little fictional world of studies and ideologies and all that other shit. And you can keep moving forward with it. I'm going to share. And I just read it again. Here we go. Hold on. Let me get back in there. Okay. Holy shit. Anyway, to liberate the human race from custodial bondage. The brotherhood has also imparted scientific knowledge and encouraged the high aesthetics, the existence in many ancient societies for these and other reasons. The snake had become a venerated symbol to humans and, according to Egyptian and biblical texts, an object of custodial hatred. So wouldn't they take the snake and make you have disdain for it and they fake fucking religion to keep you from searching out your truth? No. Could you be of an Anunnaki origin or put to a test? Could one be betraying the other without them knowing it? Could it be them saying, watch my creation, or watch what they do, which we've been studying for so long, and watch how they deal with the custodians? We do not have to war with them again, even though we made peace and work with them. Remember I was reading about the Ashkenazis, how they would sit there with people who they're supposed to be tried with, war with them, allowing other people to come in and defeat them, and then go and rape the women and make a new tribe a century down the road to go and defeat those people and take their women and kill them and make a new generation of people? Have we not caught that in my readings? Am I expressing? I could be 100% wrong. That's why I say go and research it. Anyway, when we look to discover who founded the Brotherhood, Mesopotamian texts point right back to that rebellious god, Prince Ea. Mesopotamia. The Atlanteans. The hope, who's now trodden underfoot and hill, and the fear because of we're waking up. There's idiots in our backyard who don't know what the fuck they're in for. No, they got all those weapons and everything, and they're just like, yeah, but they really don't know what they're about to fucking trigger. Anywho, ancient Mesopotamian tablets relate that Ea and his father, Anu, possessed profound ethical and spiritual knowledge. We already read that in another book about his love. This was the same knowledge that was later symbolized as trees in the biblical Adam and Eve story. In fact, the biblical tree symbol came from pre-biblical Mesopotamian works, pre-fucking biblical, okay? Such as one showing a snake wrapped around the trunk of a tree. And we know that in the medical field, we know exactly what that is. A perversion, but yes. Okay? Now, identical to later portrayals of the snake in Eden, From the tree in the Mesopotamian depiction hang two pieces of fruit, and to the right of the tree is the half moon symbol of Ea, half moon, Gulf, Louisiana, and to the left is the planet symbol of Anu. What would that be, people? Could it be the Texas star or Louisiana? Well, which one could it be? Or the half moon, the crescent? What could it be? And to the left is the planet symbol of Anu, the living life, the truth, Eden, America. You got how many rivers over there in the fucking Nile? I forget, 30 something. Over here, you got over how many? What does it allude to? The 7 major ones, which that one over there doesn't have? Think about it. Nobody studies these little simple things. The gopher wood tree only grew here in the millions, if not billions. The drawing indicates that Ea and Anu were associated with the snake and its teachings. This connection is affirmed by other Mesopotamian texts, which describe Anu's palace in the heavens as being guarded by a god of the tree of truth. Could that be the so-called North Pole, that big black rock where the water engulfs, envelops, and goes in and comes back out to fill the oceans and under the lands that nobody has been able to go to, and thousands of ships and wells and all kinds of things have been lost to, where there are giants and twa people waiting for a point that they cannot cross, and even blinded to them, is blinded to them? Does that mean that the custodians and the Anunnaki can't even go there and see it? I don't know. I don't have a clue. It's just readings, right? It could all be this hypothetical. It could mean something else, deeper rooted about you and your internals. Eternals. In one instance, Ea reportedly sent a human to be educated in that very knowledge. So when we think about this, all right, Anu's palace is the heavens as being guarded by a god of the tree of truth and a god of the tree of life. In one instance, Ea reportedly sent a human to be educated in that very knowledge. Adapa, the name of an early man, Adapa. And we believe that to be Space 1999, Adapa. I told you there's nothing new under the sun. Anyway, thou art going before Anu, the king. And the road to heaven thou wilt take. And when to heaven thou hast ascended and hast approached the gate of Anu, the bearer of life and the grower of truth, at the gate of Anu will be standing. All right? Wow. Anu. It's actually pronounced Anu. We therefore find Ea designated as the reputed culprit who tried to teach early man, Adam, Adanu, however you want to say the friggin' names now, there's so many of them, Dapa, whatever, designated as the reputed culprit who tried to teach early man, Adam, the way to spiritual freedom. This suggests that Ea intended his creation, Homo sapiens, to be suited for Earth's labor, but at some point he changed his mind about using spiritual enslavement as a means. If Ea was a true historical personality, as the Sumerians claim, then he was the probable leader of the Brotherhood at its founding on Earth. The Brotherhood may have adopted the snake as its logo because Ea's first home on Earth was said to have been constructed by a serpent-infested swampland, which Ea called Snake Marsh. And another possible explanation for the snake logo is offered by Mr. Sitchin, who says that the biblical word for snake is Nahash, which comes from the root word NHSH, meaning to decipher, to find out. And you must find the out. Fuck around and find out. So sometimes it's good to fuck around, because that's the only way you're gonna find out. I love reading this stuff. It's just, no, I really, really do. I mean, if I said less, I'd be lying, right? Reptilians in the History of Humankind, Anunnaki and Henry Crane. Now, see, excuse me. This is what, seeing how we're dealing with the birth of the Messiah, we're going to continue where we actually was left off, because it's perfect, actually. All right? My apologies. I'm not gonna show him crank. Fuck that lie and some back sack of shit. Anyway, no hate towards him. I'm just playing. The exodus of the chosen people begun, and arriving at the Red Sea, they were ambushed by the Egyptian cavalry. Then Moses used the weapon his God gave him and realized that while he approached the sea, this created a field that divided in two and allowed a passage through it. So they went to the narrowest part of the sea and crossed it running. A scepter, they say staff. Who remembers me reading in a certain book, The Grave Bearers, this book right here actually. I got to show, Heaven Bearers, excuse me. Who remembers me reading based upon the Great Reset of 1834 and the mud flood? The extermination, certain individuals walking around, people in need being exterminated and their children taken all over. And here, a war raged on because we already knew what was going to happen. Remember I was reading The Custodians of Time? Okay. And maybe I could have added this to it, just to give you a perimeter about the Jesuits in ancient America. Well, 17th century, that's ancient, but that's not ancient, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back in here. Then Moses used the weapon his God gave him and realized that while he approached the sea, this created a field that divided in two and allowed a passage through it. Some kind of energy. So they went to the narrowest part of the sea and crossed it running. Most of Egyptians who saw this miracle stopped. However, a few dared to continue the persecution. And once Moses deactivated this artifact, the Red Sea went again together, burying his pursuers. I'm only saying it because of the wording, that's all. Pay attention. Once they crossed the Red Sea, Moses led them to Mount Sinai as his God had commanded. And he climbed it to receive new orders. It took him 40 days to carve on a stone the commandments dictated to him by his God. There, for the first time, Moshe asked Enlil his name, and he replied to Yahweh. He replied to Yahweh, which means, I am. Yahweh is no more than Hawa. It exists, it's order, it's light. We always say in the darkness you can always find light. In order for a night vision to work, doesn't it have to have night? Light in the night? Think about it. Anyway, he said to Moshe that those commandments had to be literally accepted and slowly by his chosen people. Selected. There's a reason why. They're not the same as everybody else. These miracles caused such an impact in the world of that time that the word spread quickly. The God of the Hebrews was the only one, and he had given those commandments for all humankind. Now imagine that people come along and they want to steal away that God and the power. And they do, and they realize that that word doesn't speak to them. So they say, we'll create our own. And we will use their backing as far as we know it's the truth because they're the true people. But it doesn't matter to us. Their God ignores us. So let's bring pain to the world. Is that possible? What do you think? Anyway, the God of the Hebrews was the only one, and he had given those commandments for all humankind. These commandments were thought by Enlil to have completely controlled all his people. Later, Enlil, to Yahweh, told Moses to lead his people to the desert, where he had them walk for 40 years to test their faith, something that he loved doing to Enlil. He finally led them to Canaan, and it was there where the 12 tribes of Israel established and the Jewish were born. 12 tribes. What do y'all really know about America? Palenque, Peru, these names they use right now. Mexico, Texas, North America. What do y'all really know about it? The society of certain individuals. Anyway, the subtle energies increased greatly with all these events, and Anu suspected that the liberation of these slaves was the work of Enki. Although later he realized that it was not so. An excellent plot of Enlil. Enki was completely bewildered, so he began to investigate that so-called God, Yahweh. that had caused all this. Papa Doc Anu, worried about the great evolution of the Greek civilization, started to see them as a great threat to the interests of the Anunnaki. And the Greek was a period of time, a very short one, mind you. He then ordered Enlil to corrupt it. Enlil began to infiltrate several hybrids and members of his chosen people so that they could... What? Enlil began to infiltrate several hybrids and members of his chosen people so that they could to indoctrinate the Greeks through religion and worship. Indoctrinate the Greeks through religion and worship of the gods. And so it began the Greek mythology. But Enlil was not satisfied with that. He wanted to break them from the inside, breaking their spirit, and this was achieved by promoting debauchery and purely physical practices as homosexuality or pederasty, which homosexuality is no one's way. And you see, it's chemicals. That's called biowarfare for the idiots who don't know. Little by little, the Greek people became corrupt and separated from his spiritual teachings and original humanists. After 500 years of the emergence of the Greek civilization, this was not remotely similar to what it was in its beginning, since they were totally indoctrinated, worshiping false gods and creating weapons to have an army and thus conquer their enemies. Enki, seeing this, instructed a group of Greek sages to steer towards the south, specifically in Rome, so they could create another civilization with the same principles of ancient Greece. And so on the year 500 BC, approximately, it was established the Roman Republic, which for 450 years followed the precepts of justice and humankind that had received from Enki. However, he knew that it was a matter of time for the Anunnaki to manipulate. We already talked about the custodians, right? And corrupt this new civilization. Now, what's funny is we know that the original Greeks were melanated people. Somebody hit me hard and said, oh man, we didn't create homosexuality. Motherfucker, we birthed the shit in, not here. But then a certain group took on that practice because they were in the lesser, and they took all the knowledge shared by them motherfuckers, and they've been doing what they've been doing. Yeah. And does it mean that niggas supposed to be gay? Hell no. You ain't supposed to be motherfucking gay, you dumb motherfuckers. Fuck on the back of a nigga with a hairy back. Because a lot of y'all be with them pale skins and hairy legs and nuts and what the fuck? And women, why would you knowing exactly what your cooterang do other than pleasure with a man because you can keep things secret? You motherfuckers want to rub it with each other. What is wrong with you motherfuckers? Talking about the pleasure because she knows how to touch me. That's like that punk ass Will Smith. Woman don't know a man. What the fuck? I want a man massaging me the way I would massage a woman. What kind of crazy shit? I mean, make it make sense, because everybody wants to broach across that and come across and no, man, there ain't nothing all right about it. And then when you ask a motherfucker, what's your diet? Man, I eat Fat Olives and Olive Garden and all the GMO, and you look at all the shit that when I was a chef and working at which called on Bloomfield Avenue, Whole Foods, and found out a lot of that shit wasn't organic. All that plastic and all that shit. And y'all think you fucking normal? Okay. The DNA of the gods. The Anunnaki creation of Eve and the alien battle for humanity by Chris H. Hardy, PhD. So there's two books we're going to read. Last time I was reading one, I said, we'll get to the next one. I said, no, let's go back, take it to the beginning. Okay, we're not going through the introduction. If you don't know, you go find it and introduce yourself. Now, it's some pretty interesting stuff in the introduction. I just don't like all the swirly curl and hoobly hoop and bullshit that comes with it. Chapter 1, God's craving for power and control. What is the data allowing me to state that the Anunnaki were a species of humans coming from an exoplanet? This is one of the important issues that we are going to sort out progressively in this book. For now, let's look at the tablets for clues as to the psychological profile of the Anunnaki. A lot of pale skins still having a hard time accepting that they originally come from us, except for a certain group. But we are not originally from here. I didn't read this shit to know that. But you can believe whatever you want. We still have dumb niggas believing in evolution. I don't know what that's all about. All right, evolution. Evolution is based on revolution, revolt, right? Against normal things that, and bring calamity and chaos. All right, so anyway, the true nature of our gods. This is a book. We knew already that the names of the Roman gods were just a translation into Latin from the names of the Greek pantheon, such as the Greek father of the god Zeus becoming the Roman Jupiter, Hera, his spouse, Juno, or Poseidon, Neptune. But before that, we know that the Sumerian god, remember this name? Ningishzida, okay, became the Egyptian Thoth, then the Greek Hermes, and the Roman Mercury. And remember, Ningishzida, in one of my books, alluded to it being Moshe or Moses. Anyway, thus the original gods were only attributed new names in a different cultural and linguistic area. And we know that the greatest philosopher and thinkers of Greece's antiquity had been initiated in Egypt into the Egyptian rites, they say, thus making of Egypt the cradle of at least the Western and Middle Eastern initiatic traditions. Now, the identification of Thoth, Hermes, Mercury has been known for ages. Okay? Hermes was the first thinker, all right, to put into writing the science of his time. And he is clearly identified with the Sumerian Ningishzida by Sitchin. Ningishzida was the second son of Enki after Marduk. And just as Enki, Lord N, which is N, not L and all that, of Earth and Ki. Remember we was dealing with the Republic? Ki-Shi. His Sumerian symbol was to entwine snakes. Sometimes the serpents were twice entwined as in a figure 8. And sometimes they formed 6 loops. Furthermore, Ningishzida is represented not only with the snake, it's pronounced different from that, but just hold on, but also with an ankh, the most sacred symbol of Egypt. That is a cross surmounted by a drought shape. Thus Sitchin in the Wars of Gods and Men says about Ninshiga Thoth in page 177. The ankh was all around South America and even up here in North America. But they had to bury and hide that. But this shit about Greek, Latin, and all that, no, man, that is not the oldest. That is some new age. Greece is even not young by what y'all think. It's older than some 6,000 fucking years. But it's also a period of time that alludes to the fact of Tartaria, but the fall of Egypt, which was a great war. A war you can't even imagine. Okay. What did the Egyptians call this son of Enki? Ta, right? And Enki or Ta, right? Well, Enki is Ta, so remember that. So what did the Egyptians call his son of them? Their god of the cord who measures the earth was Thoth. He was, as the tales of the magicians related, the one appointed to be guardian of the secrets of the Giza pyramids. It was Thoth, according to Manetho, who replaced Horus on the throne of Egypt. It happened circa 8670 BCE, just at the time when the Anunnaki Second Pyramid War had ended. Second Pyramid War. In Egypt, the gods were called Netru, meaning guardians, watchers, which is a designation that befits perfectly a people of a higher civilization who, however, have not created humanity from scratch, as we have deemed our creators to have. Strictly speaking, the Anunnaki are not the creators of mankind, no. The tablets use rather the verb to perfect or to fashion, meaning we were upgraded or optimized out of a basic set of genomes. We always get into that 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. When the king of heaven, Anu, came to earth, why do you think it was important for them to be able to manipulate genomes? Could it have been us in the very beginning? Anyway, came to earth with his second son and legal heir, Enlil, Enki, was assigned the command of Africa, or Nubia, and of the new gold mining center in South Nubia. As for Enlil, he became the lord of the command in Sumar, and established his capital and temple abode in Nippur, the first mission control center for the space travels. Sitchin dates the first venue of Anu with Enlil to 8 years of Nibiru after the landing of Enki. That is 28,800 Earth years after Enki's arrival. And that's in Wars on page 80. Okay? Enki, as the great scientist and engineer, had, after his landing on Earth, built some dikes and irrigation works in what was at the time a huge region covered with marshes where the Euphrates and Tigris rivers met the Persian Gulf. And we know that what we believe to be is only an extension of something further, where he established his first camp and progressively the city of Eridu. Later, he made some major work in what is now northern Egypt, for the whole plateau of Giza was also covered by marshes. He thus reclaimed the land from the water, and hence Egypt was called the raised land. And I figured it'd be better reading like this. And sometimes I have to read. I have to go back and I have to open 8, 12 goddamn books. I don't say that with pain. Well, at least I know which books to go to and look again. It's a wonderful thing. Some people tell me, and my people in my family says, that's a skill, bro. That's some autistic shit. Nigga, I don't have Down syndrome. No, maybe we all are autistic, which autistic is based on audio and artistic, right? Frequency, vibration, something that you're keyed into and locked onto that you can't run from. So what it does is it enhances a certain part of you, right? If I'm wrong, say it. It's fine. Wars of the Anunnaki, Nuclear Self-Destruction in Ancient Sumer by Chris H. Hardy, PhD. And I could have read the other one first, but no. There's a reason. What do you say? There is a, what you call it, to my madness? Anyway, did Anunnaki themselves have a religion? So when you think about, like, in Germany, you remember they had, where they blew it up on that big building that they actually established to show you that we built Tartarian buildings? They had that big wing based on what god? But in the middle, they had the swastika based on what part of America, between Louisiana, the Gulf, and Mexico, right? Going all the way down to Peru or Ecuador, no, Colombia. So when you see the swastika, part of our tribal, from the Virginias to the North Carolina, part of our tribal war dance, you know, like makeup, side of our, you know, cotton or hemp clothes that we wore. That's right, not deer and elk skin, you retarded fucks. Cotton and hemp clothes, people. We wasn't running around killing animals. We were actually one with the fucking world before the fall off. You doubt me? Okay, whatever, man. So anyway, and we wore those. And just like the yin and yang, which Atlanta formed with the Xi, who visit us all the time, as well as our Viking brothers. All niggas. It don't matter what these motherfucking monkeys in their fake world. They're learning more and more. Their world is fake. And we are actually based on DNA coming into a truth that is all around the place. And they are having a hard time accepting because, you know, when you take the little kids and put them on an island and tell them red is black and black is red. Well, you bring about 4 or 5 generations back and you put them around us, a few million, there'd be a fucking war based on red and black. Nigga, red is black. No, black is red. Red, or red is red. No, it's not. It's black. Could you hear that now? We're dealing with that. Okay. In order to ponder such a question, we have to forget that the Anunnaki were our gods and creators and try to figure out what their own original culture was before they came down to Earth. In dire need of gold to repair and preserve their own ozone layer by spraying gold ions in their upper atmosphere, if you recall, they were a race of human beings with an advanced civilization organized as an unified kingdom on a nomad planet called Nibiru. We know all the planet and out there is all bullshit. It isn't out there, and there's a Nibiru out there in a lake. I think one of the deepest ones. That in eons past was caught in the gravitational, fuck all that, field of our 4.58 billion year old sun. In the times, like they know how old the sun is, these retarded mother. Anyway, in the times prior to Enki's arrival on Earth, there had been two, I want y'all to hear the crazy and the puzzle pieces. Okay, there had been two competing dynasties on Nibiru, that of the Alalu and that of the Anu, and Anu, father of Enki, vanquished Alalu. and he was the last one to have held the title of King of Heaven. That is King of Nibiru, the planet crossing, represented either way by winged disc or by flaming cross, both omnipresent symbols in Sumer, or Eden, the Mesopotamian realm of the Anunnaki. Let me show you that very exact signal, and you know that the Hindus utilize it, as well as certain our tribes, not Mongol or Mongolians. That's why I love when the motherfuckers want to come debate me with their little Eastern and African ass selves. I'll be like, shut the fuck up. You don't even know who you really are, where you really come from. Just be quiet. Sit silent. And if you know the Bible, what did Japhet receive? Where did he go? He was allowed to what? Dwell in the tents of his older brother, right? Around them. Shit. Anyway, in the times prior to Enki's arrival on Earth, there had been two competing dynasties in Nibiru, right? The Alilu and and the Anu, and that of Anu, right? The Nibiru, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So anyway, the flaming cross is a compound of a straight cross as the Christian one, in which is embedded an undulating cross, and it is still widespread nowadays. Thank you. While you people walk around with a cross around you, I used to wear it, and when I used to wear it, a wooden one with beads, like prayer beads. Everybody's like, "What you wearing that for?" It's a smack in your face because you don't even know what the fuck you're wearing, or what you represent. But that's Christian. What the fuck is that? Costanbos? A deity, a fake god, a pagan god? Because the gods didn't want to talk to them because they didn't know how to talk to themselves. What are you talking about? Never mind. You have a good day. Enjoy your crucifix. The fuck one of them people might want to wear the crucifix? That make it make sense. Anywho, in which is embedded an undulating cross, and it is still widespread nowadays. Now, the first and foremost question we can ask ourselves is why the Anunnaki, if they had a religion on Nibiru, didn't erect temples and shrines for their own gods or gods when they came to Earth, and why then didn't they teach us to venerate their own gods, the way we have done whenever the Western powers colonized the country or region? Instead of this scenario, we see the royals erecting princely abodes for themselves and teaching the earthlings all manner of skills that could be of use in their civilization, and of course to serve them. Soon they will ask to be worshipped, each god or goddess in their own temple and city. We're talking about the fucking people. Because they don't realize they're looking outwardly and not inwardly. And that's the message. The evolving relationship of the earthlings with the Anunnaki. Pay attention. The Anunnaki presented themselves in their relation to us in four distinct personas or roles in the course of time. I thus distinguish four phases in the early times. 1. Growing up with loving parents in the Abzu. At the time that the first humans, Adam, and Tiamat, Eve, remember, were genetically engineered by Nimna, the chief scientist in life sciences, with Enki, chief scientist in matter science, assisting her. The Anunnaki goddesses act as the loving mothers, who were also caring teachers. Adamu and Tiamat were carried and raised by Ninki, Enki's wife, and Nimna, and their first clones were by some medical students of Nimna. It's evident that these goddesses are the earthlings' first teachers in terms of language skills, conceptual intelligence, and basic logic, to which most women just, all emotion. Now, the fuck did the rest of that good stuff go? Now, the things and customs of life, as well as writing and sketching early on, Enki takes the role of the father of them all and personally teaches the first couple, Adam and Tiamat, Adam and Eve, for those who want to believe in that shit. Anyway, we have seen in DNA of the gods how he makes her think and reason in Eden, and we'll cross that tomorrow. And then the second couple, Adapa and Titi. Adapa and Titi, we think, is Spanish when it's Latin or Aramaic for aunt, relation, close. Anyway, Adapa is endowed with such an intelligence that he can, and Adapa is Papa, Pappy. You call your uncle Papa. You call your brother, your brother's Big Papa, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you term it. Okay, anyway. Adab is endowed with such an intelligence that he can grasp a wide variety of sciences and the spiritual and priestly knowledge as well. Let's note also that while they grow up in eastern Nubia, the Abzu domain of Inki, these protected kids must now witness and understand that their brothers and sisters, the Lulus, in a series of worker clones of Adamo and Tiamat, have to bear much harder conditions since they are already working in the gold mines and certainly got a different early education. Now, as Nimna quickly discovered through repeated failures at bringing out an intelligent hybrid creature, by mixing their own Anunnaki essence of life, or DNA, with the DNA of Homo erectus, a biped hominid, the Earthlings had to be not only carried by Anunnaki goddesses, but also raised as their own children. This was the only way for the babies to develop language, as well as human behaviors and emotional skills. More emotional skills, not emotionally fucking bankrupt and all over the goddamn place. Moreover, it's chemicals, people. Moreover, the selected children thus raised at home as the Anunnaki's own sons and daughters were in fact very certainly wearing clothes. Thus, I keep telling y'all, for thousands if not millions of years. Thus, one depiction shows Animal with a ponytail sitting on Ninki's lap, tenderly nursed by her. And we'll get into 2 tomorrow because we have to go back and catch up to that one part there. Okay? And I hope y'all enjoyed this read. My insertions and my opinions are mine, regardless of what you might think or believe. You have another way of... People have another ways of breaking things down that just... shit drives me. I'll be like this. Hey, what you say? I'll be like... But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Sometimes it takes me a little time when I'm reading to realize, okay, that will be conceptually perfect for everybody to pay attention and to have a way of looking into things, and also be careful when you're dismissing stuff. You know, have a little knowledge. Because see, if I was to decide to open up old America, it's not the name of this land, and I was to go in here and start reading this, which we're going to get into. I have a picture one. I would rather do the reading, so that way you have an understanding how things were created, designed. And this book, see, you see here, Geological Sketches, Volume 1. There are sketches in here, but it's mostly the breakdown of certain things. This is America. This is old Tartarian, if not Grecian structures, red clay, power sources. This is major destruction by war. A war you never hear about except for some fictional bullshit with a bunch of people who weren't even here. Pale skins, there weren't even that many. It was like America was probably, and it's still not that many pale skins here. I don't care what you say. And y'all are a minority. Fuck what you say. I do the math. But anyway, America, you know what the percentage of pale skins here in the 1800s? About 10%. If that. Some allude to was 6 to 7. And they were with family and all in different places, establishing connections, seeing what was going on, and some of them were troublemakers with other troublemakers here because we fell off a long time ago. So it's been happening nonstop. Do the math, read a book. You'd be surprised at what you find out. So every time I hear one talking about, wait, I'm like this. I don't usually say nothing because I'm not emotionally attached to that shit. But if they address me when I make a statement, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's all I say. Gut punch. Gut punch. And it's not about hate. It's like, stop living a fucking lie as if you're something great when you're not. Everybody's magnificent. Doesn't matter where you fucking come to, it's where we're at right now. And I know we got these goofy young niggas who don't know them because they still got so much hate and shit in them. They don't know the importance of certain things. So let the young dumb niggas say the dumb shit they're doing and don't get caught up in it. I don't matter who they fucking are, who they think they are. All right? All that black shit and all that white shit, you let them stay right the fuck there. Fuck them. All right? What was that, Snoop? I don't know why people... Hey, what's up, Charles? What's going on, beloved? Thomas Lee. Hey, Chukma, what's going on? Ain't no damn new rule coming to... I told y'all exactly. I don't know why people wear Death Cross necklaces. You know they do, baby. Yeah, they do. Yes. all these named lands is right here on us. Yes, they are. You goddamn right. Yeah, and keep and little exactly, Charles. Mikey here, what's going on, beloved? Charles already got you, beloved. Yeah, was from Atlantis. He supposedly civilized Egypt and came in. Fucking exactly. We ain't got to that, man. Slow your fucking roll. But there's a way things happen, all right? Stop jumping the gun, because I know you heard that. You ain't read this. See me, I'm gonna read it to you. It's baby steps, man. Don't be jumping the gun on my. Hey, bro. Good shit. That's right. Civilized, we civilized. Well, Egypt wasn't a thing. I already broke some things down, and we'll cover all that. In reading this, things unravel themselves. You know what I'm saying? And even though main Egypt was here, the oldest pyramids, it was different from what people think it is. And there was an enemy. When Atlantis fell, we had a long time. It could be 100,000. It could be a couple million years. I don't know. But the destruction was by us. But something came after that and established itself. Something happened. No matter what nobody thinks. And maybe it wanted to better us. And there were those who didn't want to. And there was a fight. When I keep asking people, the moon is 73.9 to 79 miles above us. Why do you think it's pockmarked the way it is? And it's the same front. Did you never see the other side? The fact that it does ring. The fact that, you have Star Wars. Why do you think it's pockmarked like that? Now, you haven't had no relationship to science, technology, inventing shit, and making shit. So therefore, you have not elusively seen nothing. You have been buying a bunch of garbage and utilizing it as if you're something. And no, you're supposed to be the creator. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even, intellectually, I'm going to share this. You haven't even worked on your spiritual truth because you have had misleading things to misrepresent to not have spiritual growth. Or the source or energy, the ethers, non, or whatever. Just a whole lot of words with no balance to how to stretch, yoga, whatever. Fasting, whatever it may be. And then we're supposed to listen to one another, huh? I'm supposed to listen to people who can't guide me through shit. Who don't know how to ask the right questions because in their head they think they know it all and they don't know a goddamn thing. I prove it all the time. In people's feelings when I'm renting space in their fucking head with their fake egos and their fake strength and their fake everything. Then I have the ones who are actually listening and they're sucking shit up and they're absorbing it. Then we have those who walk around and they're not even that. They're just a fucking bunch of goofs and they don't have a clue because they've come into perfecting living their life. That moon surface, it ain't sand up there. If that was the case, there's an order to everything, y'all. An order to everything. It doesn't matter how you can slide in this way and slide out that way. There's an order to shit. Either you know or you don't. All right? But it's a pleasure, man, to see the comments. I love it. Nobody's ever wrong either. Remember that. Since there are other Earths, why can't we? No, there's only, well, this is Earth. But Earth means this land, right? Firmament. It's bigger than anybody can imagine. Infinite. Remember I said that? A plane that just goes on and on. Let's say that it's always creating itself. Something you can't see because you can't even conceptualize your creation and what you're capable of to avoid out all the shit they're doing. To show you how powerful you truly are. You see what I'm saying? So don't worry. There is lands and everything. It's out there. Beyond the scope of what you can even conceptualize. But we have a bunch of goofies who think they control the narrative here. And until you accept the reality of that, you're never going to come up out of it. You're going to stay in their soup kitchen, eating the soup they prepare. Come from other earths. Mm-hmm. That's right, baby. Caligula. Talk about it. What the hell did you... We're not Adam and Adam is Naki. No, actually, you'd be surprised. We are the origin. That's all it means. Adam only means the first. Religion has conscripted it to one thing. I keep telling you that Anu means... We'll get there. We'll get there. Baby steps. Mikey Hill, what's going on, beloved? I got you right. Yeah, new songs, Andale, mommy. I can't stand that nigga. He's a pedophile too. Mick Emerson, world. Wait, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? Oh, what's going on, beloved? Beings from ancestral lands and enslaved humans. Pretty much we see that now. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on, beloved? Yes, it's pretty good. Bernard Teller, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? T. Hines, what's happening, beloved? Hey, James, God, what's going on, beloved? How you doing? Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope that was pretty good reading. I can't break everything down. Alicia Cooper, what's going on, beloved? Hey, JB, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? Tribe up, you already know. No, Snoopy hitting it. That's why I like it, because it allows me to. You need to express and you need to put it out there, because a lot of times it's right, but we got to bring it back. We got to remember that when we lock on something, we got to remember that a lot of stuff I'm reading. Let's say that it's allegories. All right, let's say that there's fiction with fact. Let's say that. Well, how can we allude to that? Now, I only go based on my travels and everything else. So it's a beautiful thing to see when people speak about things. And it's not so much about being wrong or right. We make correction for a correlation for what? Representation, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're talking about us. We the fucking people, right? We the sentients, right? So we have to allocate ourselves to actually verbalize certain things. But be mindful, because there is so much information that it is puzzle pieces. She's doing a very good job. She's paying attention. She's alluding to things. She's studying. She looks things up. And the thing is to always, in the cusp of that quick endeavor, be slow. And the baby steps only means not minimalization. It means follow the trail, but leave breadcrumbs so you can always go back to the other trail. Because one trail might look like it's narrow, and then all of a sudden you end up at this gateway of whiteness. And you go, wait a minute. So all that information doesn't mean it's wrong. It fooled you onto that path. Go back on those breadcrumbs of that red string and get back on the other one. Hone it in, because that one might lead to a wider tree. You got to go back and, oh, there's a new one over there. It's refocusing, centering, balancing. You dig what I'm saying? So I hope that makes some kind of sense. And I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. Appreciate y'all, I do. All right? It's a number of love and respect. I'm going to sit back. And yes, I was thinking about reading Heaven Bearers again. By Janine Helene. That is an excellent goddamn read. It's not going to interrupt the things we're reading. All the things that, no. All this stuff ties in. Everything ties in. It does. Could it come from a platform that allowed everything to conscript to where we see it at today? It could. It's not without, we don't undulate without thought of that. How do we co-witness? First, we need to pay attention and find out what is more important. And at the same time, just because we can't dig up the soil, yes, we can. I be digging up everywhere I go. But anyway, I got my shovel and pick. I be digging. Fuck that. Anyway, I bumped into some weird shit. So we have to allow ourselves to utilize what we have as a vice and know that there is so much more information. Look at when I put up Hatha Matters, right? When I'm reading about the female and how they were here long before that. They are the ones who was raising our spiritual awareness. How come did any of y'all pay attention to that? Did anybody recall me reading them? It's an excellent read. The Hatha Matters, right? The designs that look like Stewie's big ass head, you know? The one who's always working on time travel and shit. Like people, and always a little boy that wants to be a female. Come on, y'all. Y'all bigger than this. We get into the Family Guy, right? Stewie, big peanut head, Hatha Matters, they're all over. I've seen them everywhere. From South America to Nubaru, Nubia and other places. Up on walls and stuff. But here you got Stewie. Time travel. That's what they do. Always thinking he's in love with a dude, want to sleep with a dog, bestiality in it. The things they kept us from. Then all of a sudden they just disappear and it says, no, we're always with you watching. What land are they from? There are many things unbeknownst, and to those who have become corrupt, what does it say in the Bible? Creation will hold them contempt to that, to stay that course. It's not about time nor impatience. They are on their course. Everything has an ending. Time and patience are two powerful weapons. Whether you're here or not, they exist. And you exist in it. Okay? I appreciate y'all. Ladies, gents, that's our shit. Did y'all look that up? That is originally before this or this. That is our shit. Check it out for yourselves. What was that? Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and I'll chat with y'all a little later.